Hello, my name is Liba. Today, I want to talk about learning to speak English. When I started learning English, I was nervous. I didn't know many words, my accent was different and I was scared of making mistakes. But I kept trying. Learning English is like learning to walk. At first, it's hard, you might fall, but you get up again. It's okay to make mistakes. We learn by making mistakes. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. One way to learn is by listening. When you listen to English, you start to understand better. You hear new words and learn how to say them. Another way is to practice with friends. You can even talk to yourself in English, pretending you're having a conversation. The more you speak, the better you get. Don't worry if you don't know big words. Simple words are enough. The goal is to communicate. People will understand you. Over time, you will learn more words. When I was learning, I was scared people would laugh, but I realized that if I didn't speak, I wouldn't improve. Most people are kind. They will help you. If you feel nervous, that's okay. Take a deep breath, smile, and start talking. It will get easier. Reading out loud helps, too. It helps you practice the words. It's like exercising your muscles, the more you do it, the stronger you become. You can also ask for help if you don't know how to say something. Ask. Everyone needs help sometimes. Believe in yourself. Learning English is like climbing a mountain. You take small steps, and slowly, you will get better. Set small goals. Maybe one day you focus on new words, the next day work on pronunciation. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Don't give up. Every step forward counts. One thing that helped me was keeping a journal in English. Every night, I wrote a few sentences about my day. It helped me practice thinking in English too. At first, you might translate from your language, but over time, thinking in English will become natural. Find a friend to practice with. Speaking English with someone is fun. Even if you make mistakes. Don't be afraid to speak with native speakers. They understand you are learning and they will be patient. If you make a mistake, it's okay. You're learning. Learning English is a journey. Sometimes it's slow, but you're always moving forward. Remember, learning English is like planting a tree. It grows slowly, but it gets stronger every day. Keep going. You're doing amazing. Chapter 2. When I started speaking in English, I was afraid. I didn't want to make mistakes. I was scared that people would laugh, but I realized that making mistakes is part of learning. Everyone makes mistakes when they learn something new. In the beginning, I couldn't speak very well. I couldn't say many words, but I kept trying. Slowly, I started to speak more. The more I practiced, the easier it became. One of the best things you can do is listen to English. Listen to songs, watch movies, or listen to people talking. The more you listen, the better you will understand. Your ears will get used to the sounds. You will hear how words are said and how sentences are formed. It will help you when it's your turn to speak. Another good way to learn is by reading. When you read in English, you can see how words are used. You can learn new words and see how sentences are built. Reading also helps you remember words better. When I was learning, I read a lot. I started with easy books and then moved to harder ones. Reading is like exercise for your brain. It helps you think in English. You don't have to speak perfectly. It's okay if you make mistakes. People will understand you, even if you don't use the right words. The important thing is to speak. Speaking helps you practice. It helps you improve, so don't be afraid to talk. When I first started speaking English, I was shy. I didn't want to talk to anyone. But I found that practicing with friends made it easier. I started talking with friends who also wanted to learn English. We would practice together. It was fun and we didn't worry about making mistakes. You can do this too. Find someone to practice with. You can also practice by yourself. Talk to yourself in English. It may sound strange, but it helps. It helps you get used to speaking. You can practice new words and sentences by talking out loud. It's also helpful to watch English TV shows or movies. When I watched shows, I would listen carefully to how the actors spoke. I paid attention to their words and their pronunciation. I didn't understand everything at first, but I kept watching. Slowly, I started to understand more and more. Sometimes I would watch a movie or a show with subtitles. It helped me follow the words. It helped me connect the spoken words with the written ones. This helped me learn new words and phrases. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. When I first started, I was worried that people would laugh at me, but most people are kind. They understand that you are learning. They won't laugh at you. They will help you. If you make a mistake, it's okay. It's part of learning. The important thing is to keep going. If you don't know a word, you can always try to explain it in another way. You can use different words to say what you mean. For example, if you don't know the word car, you can say, it's a thing with 4 wheels that you drive. People will understand you. It's okay not to know every word. What matters is that you try. When you make a mistake, don't feel bad. Think of it as a lesson. Every time you make a mistake, you learn something new. Mistakes help you get better. They are a sign that you are learning. You can also use a dictionary to help you. If you don't know a word, look it up. You can also use a phone app or a website to translate words. But remember, it's not just about knowing the words, it's also about using them in the right way. If you want to learn faster, practice every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. The more you practice, the better you will get. When I was learning, I practiced every day. I would practice speaking, listening, reading, and writing. Every little bit helped. I also kept a notebook. I wrote down new words I learned. I would write the word, the meaning, and an example sentence. Writing helped me remember the words. It also helped me practice my writing skills. Sometimes I felt frustrated. Sometimes it felt like I wasn't improving. But then I would remember how much I had learned. I would look at my notebook and see all the new words I knew. This helped me feel better. It reminded me that I was making progress, even if it was slow. You might also feel frustrated sometimes. It's okay. Learning a language takes time, but you will improve the more you practice. The more confident you will become. Soon, you will notice that you understand more. You will notice that speaking is easier. The important thing is to never give up. Keep practicing. Don't worry about making mistakes. Every time you try, you are getting better. Even small steps are important. Each small step takes you closer to your goal. It's also helpful to set goals. You can set a goal to learn 5 new words every day, or you can set a goal to practice speaking for 10 minutes every day. Setting goals helps you stay focused. It gives you something to work toward, and when you reach your goals, it will make you feel proud. Learning English can be difficult, but it's also fun. It opens up new opportunities. You can meet new people, you can watch movies and understand them, you can travel and speak with people from different countries. English can connect you to the world, so keep going, keep learning. It may take time, but you are getting better every day. Don't give up. You can do it. Chapter 3. When I started learning English, I didn't always understand the words. Sometimes I felt lost, but I didn't stop. I kept trying. Slowly, I began to understand more. I started feeling more comfortable with English. One of the things I did was listen to English every day. I listened to songs, podcasts, and news. It helped me hear new words. I started to recognize the sounds. When I heard a word in a song, I would try to remember it. Then, I would use it when I spoke. Listening helped me understand how words fit together in sentences. It showed me how native speakers speak quickly and clearly. At first, I couldn't catch everything, but over time I began to understand more. Now, when I listen to English, I can follow along without problems. Reading also helped me. I started with easy books like children's stories. They were simple, but they taught me a lot. I read every day. The more I read, the more words I knew. The more I saw a word, the easier it was to remember it. Reading books, or even reading things online like news or stories, helped me learn. I learned new phrases and words. Sometimes I didn't know the meaning, but I could guess. The more I guessed, the better I got at understanding. I also started writing in English. At first, I wrote simple sentences. Then, I wrote about my day or what I did. Writing helped me use the words I had learned. It also helped me practice the grammar rules. When I made a mistake, I learned from it. Another thing that helped me was speaking. I wasn't perfect, but I tried to speak every day. I would talk to my friends, even if it was just for a few minutes. I practiced what I had learned. Sometimes I used a dictionary to help me find the words I didn't know, but most of the time, I just tried to say what I wanted, even if it wasn't perfect. I still spoke. At first, I felt shy. I didn't want to make mistakes, but then I realized that making mistakes was normal. Everyone makes mistakes when learning something new. If I didn't try, I wouldn't improve, so I kept speaking, even if I was nervous. Over time, I felt better about speaking. I also found people who wanted to learn English too. We practiced together. We would talk and correct each other. It was a fun way to learn. We laughed at our mistakes, and it made learning easier. You can do the same. Find someone to practice with. If you don't know anyone, you can even talk to yourself. You can practice in front of a mirror. It might feel silly, but it helps. The more you speak, the more confident you will become. One way I learned was by using apps. There are many apps that can help you practice English. Some apps help you learn new words, other apps help you practice speaking. I use them every day. They help me learn faster. If you want to improve, it's important to practice every day, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Practice every day. This will help you get better. The more you practice, the more words you will know and the easier it will become to speak. Sometimes I would look at pictures and describe them in English. It helped me use new words. I would say, "This is a red ball. There is a dog next to the ball." Describing things in English helped me use the words I was learning. I also tried to think in English. At first, I translated from my language to English, but after a while, I started to think in English. It was hard at first, but it became easier. When you think in English, it's easier to speak and understand. Another helpful thing was watching movies. I watched movies in English with subtitles. At first, I didn't understand everything, but I kept watching. I tried to understand the words by watching the actors' faces and body language. Slowly, I began to understand more. It was a fun way to learn. One thing I learned is that it's okay to ask for help. If you don't understand something, ask someone. If you don't know how to say something, ask for help. People are usually happy to help. It's okay to not know everything. Asking questions helps you learn. It's also important to be patient with yourself. Learning a language takes time. You might feel frustrated sometimes, but don't give up. Every day you are learning something new. Even if you don't see it, you are improving. One way I stayed motivated was by setting goals. Every day, I set a small goal for myself. One day, I would learn 5 new words. Another day, I would focus on speaking for 10 minutes. Setting small goals helped me keep going. You can do the same. Set goals for yourself. Celebrate when you reach them. This will keep you motivated and remind you that you are improving. English is a tool that can help you connect with people. When I speak English, I can talk to people from all over the world. I can make friends, learn new things, and understand different cultures. It's an amazing skill to have. So, keep practicing. Listen to English, read, speak, and write. Don't worry if you make mistakes. Every mistake is a chance to learn. With every step you take, you are getting better. You are on the right path. Chapter 4. Learning English is not always easy. Sometimes, you will feel tired or frustrated. It's normal to feel like you are not improving, but remember, every small step is progress. Every time you learn something new, you are moving forward. When I started, I didn't think I could speak well. I made many mistakes. I was afraid that people would not understand me, but I kept practicing. I didn't give up, and slowly, I got better. One important thing to remember is to be kind to yourself. It's okay to make mistakes. Mistakes help you learn. If you never make a mistake, you will never improve. So when you make a mistake, don't feel bad. Instead, see it as a chance to learn and grow. I used to be very shy. I didn't want to speak in English because I was afraid of making mistakes, but I realized that if I didn't speak, I would never get better. So I started talking. I practiced with my friends. I practiced alone, too. Even if it was hard, I kept trying. At first, it was difficult to speak. I would forget words, or I would mix up the order of the words, but every time I spoke it became easier. Over time I became more confident. You might feel nervous too, but it's okay. Take a deep breath, smile and start talking. The more you practice, the more comfortable you will feel speaking. Every day helps you improve faster, so try to speak every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. Another way to get better at speaking is to listen to people who speak English. When I was learning, I would listen to people speaking on TV or in movies. I paid attention to how they said the words. I also watched how they used their body and face when they spoke. This helped me understand more. When I didn't understand something, I would ask questions. I would ask my friends, or I would search online. If you don't understand something, ask. It's a good way to learn. You can also use a dictionary. You can look up words you don't know. There are many online dictionaries that can help you. If you don't know a word, don't worry. You can always use other words to explain it. For example, if you don't know the word apple, you can say, it's a round fruit that is red or green. People will understand you. It's okay not to know every word. The important thing is to keep trying. It's also helpful to read in English. When you read, you learn new words and how they are used. At first, it may be hard to understand everything, but don't give up. Start with easy books. As you read more, you will understand more. You will also get better at spelling and grammar. When I was learning, I would write in English every day. I wrote about my day, or I would write a story. Writing helped me practice. It helped me use the words I was learning. It also helped me improve my grammar. You can try this too. Write a few sentences every day. Over time, your writing will get better. You can also keep a journal. Write about your day in English. It doesn't have to be long. Just a few sentences each day will help. Writing helps you think in English. The more you write, the better you will get at it. One way to improve is to listen to music in English. Music is a fun way to learn new words. When I listen to songs, I try to understand the words. Sometimes, I would look up the lyrics online. I would read the words and listen to the song at the same time. This helped me learn new words and improve my listening skills. It's also good to practice with a friend. Find someone who wants to learn English, too. You can talk together. You can correct each other's mistakes. It's fun, and it helps you learn faster. If you don't have anyone to practice with, you can practice by yourself. You can talk in front of a mirror or speak out loud when you are alone. The more you practice speaking, the more confident you will become. Sometimes you will feel like giving up, but don't stop. Keep going. Every time you practice, you are getting better. Learning a language is not easy, but it's worth it. It opens doors. It helps you meet new people. It helps you learn new things. When I first started, I didn't think I would be able to speak well, but over time, I became more confident. I spoke with people in English. I made mistakes, but I didn't let them stop me. The more I spoke, the better I became. Remember, it's okay to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to try. Every time you speak, you are learning. Every time you practice, you are getting better. Don't give up, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Learning English is a journey. It takes time, but every step brings you closer to your goal. Keep practicing, keep learning. One day, you will be able to speak with confidence, and when that happens, you will be proud of yourself. So don't stop. Keep going. You can do it. The more you practice, the better you will get. Chapter 5. Sometimes, learning English feels slow. You may feel like you're not making enough progress, but don't worry. This happens to everyone. When I was learning, I had days when I felt stuck. I didn't think. I was improving, but I kept going and things got better. The key to learning is to never stop, even when you don't feel like you're improving. You are. Each day, you learn something new. Even small steps make a big difference. It's like climbing a mountain. You may not see the top, but every step gets you closer. One of the best ways to learn is to set small goals. When I first started, I didn't try to learn everything at once. Instead, I set goals for myself. Maybe one day I would learn 5 new words and another day I would practice speaking for 10 minutes. Setting small goals made learning easier. When I reached my goals, I felt proud. It gave me motivation to keep going. You can do this too. Set small goals for yourself and celebrate when you reach them. This will help you stay positive and keep learning. Another thing that helped me was making English a part of my life. I didn't only study in class, I used English every day. If I was walking outside, I would think in English. I would describe what I saw. I would think, this is a big tree, or the car is red. Doing this helped me use English in real life. It became easier to think and speak in English. When you make English a part of your life, it doesn't feel like studying. You can practice while doing things you already enjoy. I also used English when I watched TV shows or movies. I would watch them in English, even if I didn't understand everything. It helped me get used to the sound of English. Slowly, I began to understand more. If you want to get better at speaking, try to practice with others. Find someone who also wants to learn English. It doesn't matter if they are a beginner too, you can practice together and help each other. The more you talk, the better you will get. When I was learning, I didn't always speak perfectly. Sometimes, I made mistakes, but that was okay. People didn't mind. They understood that I was learning, and when I made a mistake, I learned from it. Every mistake was a lesson. You don't need to speak perfectly to be understood. What matters is that you try. If you try, people will understand you. They will help you if you make a mistake, and you will get better with each conversation. It's all about practice. One thing I found helpful was using flashcards. I made cards with new words on them. On one side, I wrote the word in English, on the other side, I wrote the meaning or a picture of it. I would look at the flashcards every day. It helped me remember the words. You can make flashcards, too, and review them every day. It's a fun and easy way to learn. It's also important to focus on listening. Listening to English will help you understand how words are used. The more you listen, the more you will learn. You can listen to songs, podcasts, or radio in English. Try to understand the words, even if you don't know all of them. Over time, your listening skills will improve. One day you will be able to understand more than you think. At first, it might be hard to understand English speakers. They speak fast, and sometimes the words sound different, but with practice you will get better. You will start to catch more words and understand the meaning. Another good way to improve is by reading in English. Start with simple books or articles. You don't need to read a lot, just a little bit each day. Try to read something you enjoy. If you like stories, read a book. If you like news, read articles. The more you read, the more you will learn. When you read, pay attention to new words. Write them down and look up their meanings. Try to use them in your sentences. Reading helps you learn new vocabulary, and it also helps you improve your grammar. If you want to improve your grammar, you can find simple exercises online or in books. Do one exercise each day. It doesn't have to be long, just practice a little every day. Over time, you will see your grammar improve. Sometimes, you might feel like giving up. Learning a language takes time, but remember, every step you take brings you closer to your goal. Even if you feel like you're not improving, you are. Keep practicing. Keep listening, speaking, reading, and writing. You are getting better every day. I know it's hard, but you can do it. I did it, and so can you. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Everyone was a beginner once. Everyone made mistakes, but we all learn, step by step. Remember, learning English is a journey. It's not about being perfect, it's about trying. Every time you speak, you are improving. Every time you learn a new word, you are getting better. So keep going, keep trying. You will get there. And when you reach your goal, you will be proud of yourself. You will be able to speak English with confidence. You will be able to talk to people from different countries. You will be able to understand movies and songs in English. Most importantly, you will know that all your hard work has paid off. Chapter 6. Sometimes, learning English can feel hard. There will be days when you feel frustrated. You might feel like you are not improving, but don't give up. This happens to everyone. Learning takes time, and you will get better if you keep trying. The most important thing is to keep practicing. The more you practice, the better you will get. Even if it feels like you are not making big progress, you are. Every little step counts. It's like planting a tree. You water it every day, and it grows slowly. One day, you will see how tall it has become. One thing that helped me was to not be afraid of mistakes. At first, I was scared of making mistakes. I didn't want people to laugh at me. But then I realized that mistakes are part of learning. If you never make mistakes, you will never learn. So I started to welcome mistakes. They are a sign that you are trying. When you make a mistake, don't be hard on yourself. Instead, learn from it. Think about what went wrong and try to do it better next time. Remember, everyone makes mistakes. Even native English speakers make mistakes. It's okay. What matters is that you keep trying. Another important thing is to be patient with yourself. Learning English is a long journey. It takes time, and there will be good days and bad days. Some days, you will feel confident. Other days you might feel unsure, but that's normal. Don't worry if you don't feel perfect. The goal is to keep improving, not to be perfect. One thing that helped me was to break my learning into small pieces. I didn't try to learn everything at once. Instead, I focused on one thing at a time. Maybe I focused on learning new words. Maybe I focused on improving my speaking skills. By taking small steps, I felt less overwhelmed, and little by little, I made progress. Another helpful tip is to make learning English a part of your daily life. You don't have to study for hours every day. Even a little practice each day makes a big difference. For example, you can listen to English songs while you're cleaning or cooking. You can watch English TV shows or movies. You can read books or articles in English. Every time you do something in English, you are improving. If you want to improve your speaking, try to speak in English as much as you can. It doesn't matter if you're alone or with a friend. Practice speaking in English every day. If you don't know the word for something, try to explain it in other words. The more you practice, the easier it will get. You can also practice speaking by reading out loud. When you read in English, say the words out loud. This helps your brain get used to the sound of English. It also helps you practice your pronunciation. Start with short sentences and work your way up to longer ones. Listening is another important skill. The more you listen, the better you will understand. Try to listen to English as much as you can. You can listen to podcasts, songs, movies, or even YouTube videos. Pay attention to the way people speak. Try to catch new words, even if you don't understand everything. That's okay. Over time, you will understand more. If you don't understand a word, don't worry. Look it up in a dictionary or online. You can also ask someone if you don't know what a word means. The important thing is that you keep learning. The more you learn, the more words you will know. Reading in English is also helpful. Start with simple books or stories. Don't try to read books that are too difficult at first. As you get better, you can move on to harder books. Reading helps you learn new words and practice grammar. It also helps you understand how English sentences are formed. One way to make reading more fun is to read about things you enjoy. If you like animals, read about them in English. If you like sports, find articles about sports in English. When you read about things that interest you, it's easier to learn. Writing is another important skill to practice every day. Try to write a few sentences in English. You can write about your day or your thoughts. You can write in a journal or even on social media. The more you write, the better you will get. Writing helps you practice grammar and spelling, and it also helps you think in English. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. If you don't understand something, ask a teacher or a friend. If you're not sure how to say something, ask someone for advice. Everyone needs help sometimes. Asking for help is a great way to learn. Remember, learning English is a journey. It won't happen overnight, but if you keep practicing every day, you will get better. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. They are part of learning. Celebrate every small victory, whether it's learning a new word or having a short conversation in English. These small steps will lead to big progress. And most importantly, don't give up. Even when it feels hard, keep going. One day you will look back and realize how much you've learned. You will be able to speak English with confidence, and you will be proud of how far you have come. So keep practicing, keep learning, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself. You can do it. I was shy. I didn't want to talk to anyone, but I found that practicing with friends made it easier. I started talking with friends who also wanted to learn English. We would practice together. It was fun, and we didn't worry about making mistakes. You can do this too. Find someone to practice with. You can also practice by yourself. Talk to yourself in English. It may sound strange, but it helps. It helps you get used to speaking. You can practice new words and sentences by talking out loud. It's also helpful to watch English TV shows or movies. When I watched shows, I would listen carefully to how the actors spoke. I paid attention to their words and their pronunciation. I didn't understand everything at first, but I kept watching. Slowly, I started to understand more and more. Sometimes, I would watch a movie or a show with subtitles. It helped me follow the words. It helped me connect the spoken words with the written ones. This helped me learn new words and phrases. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. When I first started, I was worried that people would laugh at me, but most people are kind. They understand that you are learning. They won't laugh at you, they will help you. If you make a mistake, it's okay. It's part of learning. The important thing is to keep going. If you don't know a word, you can always try to explain it in another way. You can use different words to say what you mean. For example, if you don't know the word car, you can say, it's a thing with 4 wheels that you drive. People will understand you. It's okay not to know every word. What matters is that you try. When you make a mistake, don't feel bad. Think of it as a lesson. Every time you make a mistake, you learn something new. Mistakes help you get better. They are a sign that you are learning. You can also use a dictionary to help you. If you don't know a word, look it up. You can also use a phone app or a website to translate words. But remember, it's not just about knowing the words, it's also about using them in the right way. If you want to learn faster, practice every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. The more you practice, the better you will get. When I was learning, I practiced every day. I would practice speaking, listening, reading, and writing. Every little bit helped. I also kept a notebook. I wrote down new words I learned. I would write the word, the meaning, and an example sentence. Writing helped me remember the words. It also helped me practice my writing skills. Sometimes I felt frustrated. Sometimes it felt like I wasn't improving, but then I would remember how much I had learned. I would look at my notebook and see all the new words I knew. This helped me feel better. It reminded me that I was making progress, even if it was slow. You might also feel frustrated sometimes. It's okay. Learning a language takes time, but you will improve. The more you practice, the more confident you will become. Soon, you will notice that you understand more. You will notice that speaking is easier. The important thing is to never give up. Keep practicing. Don't worry about making mistakes. Every time you try, you're getting better. Even small steps are important. Each small step takes you closer to your goal. It's also helpful to set goals. You can set a goal to learn 5 new words every day, or you can set a goal to practice speaking for 10 minutes every day. Setting goals helps you stay focused. It gives you something to work toward, and when you reach your goals, it will make you feel proud. Learning English can be difficult, but it's also fun. It opens up new opportunities. You can meet new people. You can watch movies and understand them. You can travel and speak with people from different countries. English can connect you to the world, so keep going. Keep learning. It may take time, but you are getting better every day. Don't give up. You can do it.